Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joanna Jurek, and today I have extreme privilege to present for you my my review paper, which main topic focuses on the implications of the plant foods in the weight management, with specific focus on metabolic health. As I mentioned, my name is Joanna Jurek. I'm a PhD in human nutrition and immunology, which I did at Ulster University. Currently, I'm starting my second year postdoc in Valdebron Hospital Research Institute in Barcelona, when I am working on the implications of the gut microbiota in individuals diagnosed with the chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia. Previously, I was fortunate enough to do my postdoc in prestigious institute, APC Microbiome Ireland, where I was investigating the potential of postbiotics in improvement of infant and psychiatry health. So, coming to my today presentation, I would like to focus on my paper, which I recently published in one of the biomedical journals. This review is focusing mostly on the use of the plant foods and their potential benefits for the improvement of metabolic health. In this review, I focused on the potential of plants to improve our metabolic health outcomes, such as lipid profile, glycemic control, and also aid process of the weight management. Starting off, I would like to introduce the topic of the plant-based food and highlight the importance in the human diet. As we know, we are proposed to improve our dietary intake of vegetables and fruits, owing to a high nutritional value. This nutritional value is related to the presence of many antioxidants, phytochemicals, and also dietary fibers, minerals, and vitamins. We all know these nutritional factors are very important for our health, and therefore they were implicated in the improvement of our general well-being. Also, those nutrients may be not always essential, they also implicated in the prevention of chronic diseases related to the inflammatory conditions and also cancer. They have high importance in the cardiometabolic health and prevention against the metabolic syndrome as well as cardiovascular disease. The groups of the foods which I focused on in this review, and I implicate the highlight and I want to implicate their high nutritional value and implications in the improvement of health. They are mostly fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grain pulses, and legumes. Starting off with fruits and vegetables, this group is quite diverse and includes different plant foods, which can vary greatly in their nutritional content. The nutritional content, of course, related to the presence of dietary fibers, vitamins, minerals, and other phytochemicals characteristic for particular food groups. Thanks to presence of those nutrients, those foods were associated with beneficial anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties. Starting off with vegetables, we know vegetables are one of the most important food groups in our diet, especially when it comes to the green leafy vegetables, which are high source of fibers, vitamins, and minerals. And for example, recent research has shown that simply adding from 2 to 3 cups of those vegetables into our daily diet, we can reduce risk of stroke as well as heart disease and hemorrhagic stroke as well. Basically, what we should aim in our diet based on the recent systematic reviews, we should aim not for 5, as most of people could think, but 7 servings of vegetables. And these 7 servings have been shown to be implicated in reduction of the cardiovascular risk reduction of the factors related to the cardiovascular disease. Coming to the later studies, we can see very interesting relationships between intake of particular vegetable and fruit groups. For example, higher intakes of fruits and vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, non-starchy vegetables, and also cruciferous vegetables and citrus fruits as well, as a source of vitamin C, beta-carotenes and other phytochemicals, have been associated with lower risk of total mortality, not only mortality related to the cardiovascular disease. Nevertheless, intake of starchy vegetables were not associated with lower risk of death. And I think this is important to highlight, that we shouldn't think that vegetables, like all vegetables, but be able to distinguish particular important groups for our health. Also, intake of recommended, as for many guidelines, 5 servings per day of fruit vegetables can help us lower the overall mortality. However, the higher intakes of more than 5 servings of fruit and vegetables were not associated to the additional reduction in these risk factors. Important highlight which I want to share is the fact that when we're thinking about fruits and vegetables, we also might think about just juices and other produce. Actually, most importantly from research, we should highlight that consumption of juices and starchy vegetables such as potatoes actually, due to high glycemic load, have no any additional benefits. Actually, there's even some studies showing they are associated with higher risk of cardiometabolic adverse effects such as weight gain and glycemic dysregulation. The other important thing which we should consider when consuming and choosing vegetables and fruits in our diet is the process of preparation. Actually, the way how we prepare those foods can significantly impact on their nutritional value. For example, potatoes, despite boiling potatoes are a great source of the resistant starches which help increase satiety and can be even implicated in the products recommended for weight loss. Actually, when we fry those potatoes in the form of fries, these benefits disappeared, and actually we can see that there is high risk of diabetes and other cardiometabolic diseases. Another important factor to consider is the temperature, how we cook our vegetables, because boiling and steaming can significantly reduce the amount of water-soluble vitamins such as beta-carotene, vitamin C, and also certain heat-sensitive vitamins like vitamin E and K. And that's interesting fact because actually microwaving seems to lead to the lowest reduction when it comes to nutritional value of vitamins in the plant foods. So actually, if we want to preserve the vitamin K, C, and E, it's worth to consider, instead of boiling, using microwave when preparing those foods. Just to highlight the importance of the food preparation, I would like to briefly mention some of the best practices how to prepare fruit and vegetables. And for example, when it comes to the cooking method, the best form of preparing foods, especially when we want to limit the saturated fat intake, is the steaming or microwaving, as I mentioned. Also using roasting with healthy oils, and healthy oils I mean olive oil, avocado oil, and so on, because those oils help our body to absorb the vitamins from those plant foods. Also using herbs and spices can increase the absorption of the nutrients. Grilling, especially during summer, it's a good idea. However, it is important to make sure the food is not damaged, is not overcooked. Also adding citrus juices like squeeze of lemon or lime to the dressings also can boost the nutritional value of the plant-based foods. Using stir fries with healthy oils as well can be a good idea. And also remembering about incorporation of leafy greens, which seems to be the most valuable vegetables among all of those foods which I presented. And lastly, don't overcook, because then we actually limiting amount of the healthy nutrients. And also more for the winter and colder season, using soups can be also a nice way of nourishing our body and getting the 5 servings of the vegetables into the diet. Coming to next group, now I would like to focus on fruits. Fruits are especially high in vitamins and minerals. They can also have a high content of dietary fibers. Nevertheless, some people thinking that because of the high simple sugar content, such as glucose and fructose, they might be not necessarily the best choice for diabetes. Nevertheless, there is still some good choices we can find out from the fruits when it comes to cardiometabolic health, and those choices are apples, avocados, grapes, mangoes, watermelons, oranges, kiwi fruit, pomegranate, papaya, and pineapple. An interesting fact is actually that increasing daily fruit and also vegetables by 200 grams can help us to reduce the risk of coronary heart disease, stroke. And in that case, for example, eating daily 500 grams of fruits and vegetables can lower cardiovascular disease risk for about 22% compared with lower intakes. The first group which I mentioned, recommended when it comes to the heart health, are grapes. Grapes are great for a source of the antioxidants such as resveratrol, and resveratrol present in grapes as well as in the red wine has been shown to be beneficial for the glycemic regulation, as well as can significantly increase the antioxidant profile of the individuals who eating grapes and grapes products regularly. And results from different foods shown that also supplementation with the certain extracts containing resveratrol from the grapes can help to decrease the inflammation in the body, increase production of anti-inflammatory cytokines, and also has been shown to be beneficial in regulation of the blood pressure, and also, as I mentioned, improving the long-term glycemic control. The next group, very important when it comes to overall health and reduction of cardiometabolic risk factors, are berry fruits, and those fruits has been shown to be beneficial for improving lipid profile. Especially different berries, cranberry, berry, raspberry, and strawberry, when eaten regularly, can help to reduce the blood pressure and also improve the circulation. Also, some of them, like blackcurrants, cranberries, and strawberries, when eaten regularly as a daily diet, can improve glycemic profile and help to reduce glucose and insulin compared to eating other carbohydrate-rich meals. Important type of berry which we should definitely include in the diet, they are blueberries. Blueberries are a great source of antioxidants such as vitamin C and E, which contribute to keeping healthy vasculature and circulation. They also help to reduce elevated blood pressure. Another group, strawberries, similarly like blueberries, high in vitamin C. Additionally, then they can also contain significant amounts of potassium, which is important for maintaining healthy blood pressure. In addition, they also having polyphenols called antioxidants, which can help to protect health of the heart. And in that case, eating strawberries before or after meals can help us to reduce the basic glycemic response. And in that case, can be eating strawberries can be recommended for people who struggle with that, such as people with the pre-diabetic and people with type 2 diabetes. Another group important, especially when it comes to the glycemic control, are pulses and legumes, and these can be exemplified by chickpeas, black peas, lentils, and other beans which belongs to this group. And pulses and legumes are very original fruits because they can be considered as a source of protein in human diet, but they also contain high amount of the dietary fibers. In the same time, they are low in fat, what have been shown to be beneficial for improvement of cardiometabolic health. Among the pulses and legumes, the well-studied effect are the effect on the glycemic control, especially in individuals with high metabolic risk. And in this case, especially adding chickpeas and lentils into the diet can result in improvement in satiety, can also lower blood pressure and help to lower glycemic response after the meal. Other long-term studies on people with significant high risk of the cardiovascular disease have shown that eating especially low in glycemic index pulse-based diet can improve insulin response, but also improve the general lipid profile. And those effects has been shown after 3 months intervention and were kept for the time after study. And this interesting fact, which I would like to highlight, is that the consuming from 3 to 4 servings of the legumes a week can lower risk of the coronary heart disease by almost 10%. So we see that those effects are highly visible in clinical studies as well as systemic meta-analysis. The almost last group of the plant-based foods are whole grains and cereals, and those are a great source of complex carbohydrates into the human diet, the great source of energy, but also dietary fibers, both insoluble and soluble. And the fact that they contain the dietary fibers, the eating whole grains regularly can help us to maintain proper glycemic profile. And in that case, both short-term and long-term studies have shown that regular intake of whole grains such as red rice, whole wheat, oats and fenugreek seeds after 6 months roughly can improve management of the glycemic control and also bring other benefits for metabolic health, such as reduction in the inflammatory proteins, reduction of inflammation, improved insulin response, and improved lipid profile in the blood. Also, they can help to maintain healthy body weight over time. And actually, studies which considered including 100 grams on whole grains after 8 weeks, such as 2 months, can lead to first visible significant clinical outcomes, especially when it comes to glucose and glycemic control. The most recommended and well-studied whole grains when it comes to improvement of cardiometabolic health are oats, brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat, barley, buckwheat, and rye. And here I would like to highlight especially oats and oat bran, which contain the dietary fiber known beta-glucan. Beta-glucan has been shown to be especially beneficial for those with high cholesterol levels, as beta-glucan can effectively help to reduce the LDL and total cholesterol in the blood, in the same time increasing HDL cholesterol in the blood. Thanks to that, can bring significant benefits for cardiometabolic health and reduce the risk of cardiometabolic disease. And in those studies, both conducted on diabetic, pre-diabetic, and individuals with metabolic syndromes, incorporation about 30 grams to 100 grams of portion of whole oats or oat bran can significantly improve the glycemic control and improve the lipid profile. Also, eating oat bran and oats together with other meals can help to reduce the glycemic response after the meal and, importantly, keep the satiety for a longer period. Another recommended whole grain, it's a quinoa. Quinoa, it's called as a pseudo grain because it's not grain at all, but contrastingly to other whole grains, quinoa has a full amino acid profile and appears to have the highest protein levels among different whole grains. Therefore, sometimes it's known as superfoods, and also eating quinoa can bring significant benefits when it comes to the blood pressure regulation, lipid profile regulation, and also might help to manage appropriate body weight. The last group are nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds, because of their high nutritional value attributed to minerals, vitamins, and also presence of phytochemicals, especially phytosterols, can help to regulate the blood glucose levels as well as lipid profile, and this has been shown as a reduction of LDL cholesterol and improvements in HDL cholesterol. Actually, studies have shown that swapping simple carbohydrates for nuts and seeds can significantly benefit metabolic health, especially in individuals who are suffering from the high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, or have problem with glycemic management. And the most recommended choices are almonds, walnut, cashews, peanuts. This is related to the high levels of the unsaturated, polyunsaturated fats, which has been shown to favorably modulate inflammatory profile in the body. And recommended portions in order to get those benefits are roughly 80 to 40 grams. And also using nuts and seeds as a replacement of meat can reduce risk of cardiovascular disease by 38%. Recommended choices are Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts especially high in selenium, and thanks to that, regular consumption of those nuts can help to improve the antioxidant profile of the human body. And also flaxseed. Flaxseeds are also rich source of polyunsaturated fatty acids, omega-3, which is essential amino acid, alpha-linolenic acid, and also they have high levels of ligands. Ligands are types of dietary fibers which can be found very beneficial for improving satiety and also regulating cholesterol levels. Chia seed is another seed also rich in the polyunsaturated fatty acids, but also in the same time rich in fiber, especially soluble fiber. And thanks to that can help manage glycemic response. And this is all I prepared for today. Thank you so much for your attention. Just to highlight the most important finding from this presentation is that we should consider plant-based foods in our daily diet, especially vegetables, preferably eaten fresh. We should put attention on the green leafy vegetables and those non-starchy choices, but also incorporation of legumes with whole grains can benefit glycemic and maintaining appropriate satiety levels. Including nuts and seeds can also serve as a good way of introducing healthy polyunsaturated fatty acids, which help to our body absorb vitamins, minerals from the other plant-based foods. Legumes and pulses should be considered, especially in those who struggle with maintaining appropriate glycemic profile, because they rich in dietary fiber, but they also can provide significant amounts of protein. So they should be eaten as a part of well-balanced diet. Once again, thank you so much for your attention. Below, I'm linking my contact details. I'm looking forward to your questions and further collaboration if you find my presentation interesting or you will have another inquiry for resources or research collaboration. This is my detailed contact. I'm looking forward to questions. And once again, thank you so much for your attention.